Tang, Woo, Tang, Woo, Tang, Woo, Tang. What's going on? So Achad, how you doing, man? Coming through holography. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe. See, I don't like saying that 'cause every time I watch YouTube videos, they be trying to get me to like, subscribe. Hey, you do what you want, man. If you feel that you're getting quality knowledge or quality content, or if I'm bringing something that's worth your time, you know what to do, man. I ain't gotta be no YouTube you know what I'm saying, recruiters so that I can keep you on YouTube all day or whatever. But we are going to be talking about woo recruits. Woo recruits. So we're going to be dealing with you know what I'm saying, I changed my background a little bit, you know what I'm saying, for this one. Worldwide, you know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang forever. So we're going to be dealing with this movie here. Obviously, you should already know if you ain't got to look at the title. How high, so high that I could kiss the sky, up to the sky. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know how old you is watching this. Like I said, you know, you could be my age, like I'm mid 30s. You can be older than me, younger than me. You're still in your 20s or whatever. But hopefully, whatever age bracket you in, I'm hoping. I ain't gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Hoping that there was woo music in your house in some fashion, form, or you know what I'm saying. It was circulating. It was in the airwaves of your house, your car, or wherever you like to frequent. You know what I mean? Um, I came into this Wu Tang thing a little later in life because I mean, just like anybody that is doesn't get into the depthicalness of the Wu Tang Clan or whatever, you know, you just know the classics, Cream, Triumph. You know what I'm saying? Just the singles. You know what I mean? Even Ghostface coming out with the Cheche La Ghost. You know what I mean? You don't know Cheche La Ghost? You don't know that song? How you don't know that song? Oh, Ghost Face, Ghost. You know what I'm saying? That song. Well, you got. But yeah, just you know, you just know the singles, but there's a whole underground chamber of Wu-Tang music that never makes it to the mainstream. And we talking about going from 90s up to now. So there's the casual person fan that, you know, knows all the creams and the triumphs, and you know what I'm saying, I came to bring the pain, hardcore from the brain. You know what I'm saying? You know that stuff, but then there's a whole layer up under it of mostly the, you know, the Wu members of the clan that don't get that much exposure, like Inspector Deck, Master Killer, Hugo. You know what I'm saying? Capadonna even. Probably don't even know what Capadonna is or what it does or how it functions. You probably don't know that. But we're going to deal with this movie here, How High, because you got to start looking into these comedies, like these TV shows, these movies that you don't think there's a message behind them, or you don't think that there's something going on outside of the laughs. So a movie like this, you know, is some, you know, you could probably label it as like a goofy comedy. It's a cult classic movie, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta be able to look beyond go beyond the surface or beneath the surface. That's Jizza's third studio album, you know, beneath the surface. So you probably didn't know all that. But how high? I think I was high when I started to realize this stuff. So this may be some half-baked, you know, theory or idea. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I had to come through here and speak on it because I even see it when I'm sober, when I'm not under the influence of anything. Like I see that this movie was put out to recruit people into Wu-Tang Clan. And where else to recruit people into Wu-Tang Clan than going to a college, a university, campus life. So go watch that movie one more time after this video sometime this week, and you'll realize how these two MCs, meaning gonna call them rappers, that's disrespect. Redman and Method Man, because Redman is an honorary member of the Wu-Tang now. So I know he's still probably part of Def Squad, but he's definitely a Wu Tang Clan member. You have other Wu members saying that Redman is basically the 10th member of the Wu Tang. So you have Red and Meth, right? And they turned the whole school into Wu heads. I mean, the entire fucking faculty, student body, the dean office, every except that one old guy played by Abba Babatunde. He's the only nigga that isn't recruited into the Wu Tang. Everybody in the movie becomes a Wu head by the end of the film. And we're gonna go through that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go too this video ain't gonna be too long, but I just wanted to lighten up the mood. I mean, we've been talking about a lot of esoteric and occult stuff. I want to get into some just a little, lighter on the lighter side. You know what I'm saying? Make hopefully smoke one when you watch this. You know what I'm saying? Smoke one. Twist the L or two. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean by twist the L or two. You know what I mean? I mean, nowadays, I would smoke with you, but I don't know where your lips have been. I don't know who booty groceries you've been eating. Like, I don't trust your lips. Not that I don't trust you. Like, you probably upstanding fellow or a wholesome gal. You know what I'm saying? You pay your taxes. You'll never hurt a fly. You pay what people are worth. You know what I mean? You hold doors open for people. You do all that. But them lips, I don't trust. And then it's like you passing it amongst your peoples and you spreading that lip disease. It could get messy. You know what I'm saying? Even in this movie, there's a scene where this Indian guy who's supposed to be, I guess, the dorm room boss. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you went to college, this is gonna be also a college type of video, but you have the motherfucker that's assigned in the dormitory to be like the dorm I guess what is it like a hall monitor, dorm hall monitor, or something like that. Like he or she's supposed to be in charge of the dorms and shit. So he had this big ass like herpes blister on his lip. So as meth and red are smoking, they L or whatever, they bypass him. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'll be doing. But instead of it being me and somebody else, I like smoking by myself. But if it's a festivities, you know what I'm saying, I might change my mind. But it's your lips, man. I don't know where your lips have been, male and female. I don't know where your lips have ventured into, what dark pits of hell it has been. But you know what I'm saying? This movie is a recruiting movie, and the best way to recruit anybody is to go to the universities to recruit them. Why? Because you're dealing with a student body, like a group of people who are coming to this place to be more explorative. They're here to, you know, open their mind up. You know what I mean? Expand their horizons. That's what you're supposed to do at a university. You're supposed to have your mind be cosmic, worldwide, not just local, not in your neighborhood or in your community or your borough. No, we talking that this is an opened up worldwide viewpoint. See the logo? That's Wu-Tang worldwide. You know what I'm saying? That's forever. You know what I mean? So the college campus is the perfect place to recruit. Why? Because you even have things like groups like or organizations like the CIA or any of these like government groups, even Masons, right? They come to these universities to recruit. I've seen it with my own eyes, and you can even watch like even a movie like The Recruit. So we talk about recruits, right? The movie Recruit, The Recruit with Al Pacino, Colin Farrell, and whoever else. And Al Pacino's character, I ain't gonna spoil the plot, but he's a CIA recruiter, and he goes to a college university to recruit students into the CIA and shit like that. You know what I mean? But me having gone to the college that I've been to, I know that there are all these different groups in the world that target these universities to bring in new, you know what I'm saying, new meat, new flesh, you know what I'm saying? Noobs, you know what I mean? And we all know about the frats and the sorors, you know what I'm saying, the frats and sororities, right? They're always on campus looking for new, fresh meat to haze and bring into their organizations, but they aren't the only ones. Because now you have a whole movie where these two Wu-Tang clan members are coming to a university, you know what I'm saying, and they start changing the whole tide of the whole entire university with weed smoke, you know what I'm saying, ill beats, you know what I'm saying, street woo wear, you know what I'm saying, the Wu Wear store, you know what I mean? Because it's all about mental expansion. It's all about your horizons are being, you know what I'm saying, risen, if you know what I'm saying, for a lack of a better word. So when I started watching this movie a little bit deeper, I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing here. They're trying to recruit members or recruit the world into the Wu, World Wide Web. See that Wu World Wide Web right there? You see that? So you got that going on. Because again, when you come to these colleges, you're there to expand your mind. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for something other than what you came from. You're exploring. You're exploring things. You're exploring. So let's explore. Wu Tang. Let's explore a little bit. So we all know like the Wu-Tang Clan is all about, mathematics. And they even have this DJ Mathematics, who's actually he's the creator of the W symbol. So this symbol that you see right there, DJ Mathematics is the creator of it. And there's this documentary called Wu-Tang Clan of Mics and Men, where is right here too. He RZA gave him 40. RZA, he's like the de facto leader of the Wu-Tang. He gave Mathematics $400 for this Wu-Tang symbol that now you have people all over the world who have this tatted on their arm, on their back, on their neck, and in their inner lip. I don't let niggas go in my inner. You don't let people near your face. But he created this symbol. You know what I'm saying? It became a worldwide phenomenon, and he was paid $400 for it. But you have to understand, at the time, RZA, that was half his rent money. We talking about early 90s right here. We talking about 91, probably 92. So that was half of RZA's rent money that he probably needed to pay so that he wasn't evicted from his abode that he gave this man on the right for his this W. So through this one guy, you got people all over the world with this written all over their body, all over their body. That's power. That's influence. That's the worldwide woo web right there. You know what I'm saying? And then knowing that they deal with mathematics. So let me bring that up. Because I've talked about mathematics before and the whole thing about it really being alchemy. Because there's a line of succession. First you have the 5% nation, which comes from Nation of Islam, which Nation of Islam comes from the Yamura Science Temple, and Yamura Science Temple comes from your Masonic lodges. So you get to this whole thing about supreme mathematics. You know what I'm saying? These numbers. So I've been talking about in previous videos, even a video I just did on this channel where I was talking about well, let me get a good picture of these. Hold on. I was talking about principles, right? So with principles, the highest known principles you can deal with is the principles of numbers. Numerical principle. Here, let's just deal with this one. Numerical principle. I said numerical principle because some people just only know numbers for their quantities, but not for their qualities. There's semiotic values to these numbers. I'm trying to get a big one. Hold on, let me put image in new tab. Hold on. That's how big they're gonna get it. Fuck, hold on. But you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give you a visual, but some of these fucking pictures ain't quality. Is this it? Okay? This is something you can probably read. So supreme mathematics. So when we talk about principle, the first 10 digits, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are actually what you call principles before they become quantities. Like you have one apple, two carrots, three cucumbers, four limbs, you know what I'm saying? Five skies, and so on and so forth, six planets or whatever. But you have to get into the semiotic value of the number, which is its quality. So this is what I love about supreme mathematics is that each number has been assigned a quality or a principle or an abstract. So one is knowledge, two, wisdom, three, understanding. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You know what I'm saying? That triad, that trinity. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You've probably heard those words, spoken in that sequence. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. One, two, three, right? So knowledge is a principle. Wisdom, understanding are both principles. So what if you were a perfect embodiment of knowledge, or a perfect embodiment of wisdom, or a perfect embodiment of understanding, which is the point of, hold on, where I put it at? Hold on. Bring it back up. How high? So how did I get kiss the sky? Ah! So your colleges are basically they're supposed to be places of higher learning and higher understanding, right? That's what they're supposed to be. But getting back to this study, again, principle. So you even go into 4, 5, 6, which are also grouped together. Culture, power, equality. You know what I'm saying? And you'll hear in Wu Tang's lyrics where they say like, "Oh, I'm about to get a culture cipher from the corner bodega or the store." So a culture cipher is what? 4 culture cipher 0 40. So what would you get at the store that's a 40? The 40 ounce. You know what I'm saying? A beer. So this whole coded language that they was kind of speaking, you know what I'm saying, is just like if you went into mainstream physics or you know what I'm saying, they have their own jargon in there too. You know what I'm saying? Like uncertainty principle, wave particle duality, quantum physics. You know what I'm saying? The Bohm effect and all this stuff, superposition. Like you don't know what that stuff means until you decode it because they're speaking in the language. So this is what these Wu-Tang Clan members was doing, and also other groups like Brand Nubian and Poor Righteous Teachers and all these different groups that was coming out in the late 80s, early 90s or whatever. So the key to understanding this, and then we get to 789, which is God, Bill, born. You know what I'm saying? So you see this 7 in these supreme lessons that 7 is God. They say the black man is God. You know what I'm saying? Black woman is earth. So the nation of gods and earths, right? This is pulled right from your alchemy. This is alchemy right here. It's a new spin on alchemy. Because when you say God, you're talking about heaven, and when you talk about earth, you're talking about land. So you're really talking about what? Wave particles. The wave and the particle, the higher and the lower. So you want to talk about higher and lower self, it comes from understanding heaven and earth, which is also an understanding dealing with Taoism or Taoism. So that yang would be heaven, and then that yin would be earth. Electromagnetism even fits into that duality. Hold on, where is it? So if I'm saying you're a first brother or a second brother or a third brother or a fifth brother or a sixth brother, a seventh brother, what I'm saying is you've been given that title so that you shall be an embodiment of that number. Because this is, if you're dealing with mathematics as a language of the universe, these numbers become deities in that system. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a pantheon, just like a Greek pantheon, a ancient Egyptian pantheon. You know what I'm saying? Ancient Mesopotamian pantheon, a Ifa pantheon with the Yoruba. You know what I'm saying? The Ghanaian pantheon of deities. Right here, you can simplify it by knowing what their number is. Have you ever asked a spirit or a deity, what's your number? You never asked that, did you? but you swear you know so much about it. How come you didn't ask them their number? Because it's just like asking some little dwarf, or you know what I'm saying. If we talk about fairy tales and shit, you ask this dwarf what's your name, and it doesn't want to give you its name. And then through one way or another, you find out, oh, your name is Rumpelstiltskin, and they have a whole fucking legend and fable surrounded around getting the name of that entity. Because if you know its name and its number, now you can have sway over it. Because its true name is a part of its essence. So to say its name, to move it, or chant its name, is to pull it down, pull it towards you. I told you we'd be getting a little bit more depthical. You think it's just a how high movie. You just want, you know what I'm saying, puff that la la la, and that's it. But like I said, if you penetrate the surface of this stuff, you'll start to see some things pop out at you. You know what I'm saying? Like a pop-up book. You know what I mean? Now, if we get into the whole thing about, here's a picture. This is a good picture. So this white guy in the movie, he's from Wisconsin. You know what I'm saying? And when we meet him in the movie, he's pledging into one of these like white Greek societies. You know what I'm saying? White Greek fraternities. So he has this cup of toilet water, I guess, or sewer water. I forgot. I think it was toilet water. So a part of his pledge is that he has to drink toilet water throughout the days of his hazing. And folks, there's some nasty shit these motherfuckers be doing. I don't care what, they could be Latino, black, white. They got some nasty hazing practices. You know what I'm saying? Some have even led to deaths. You know what I'm saying? Not deaf, nigga, death. Not deaf where you can't hear. Death where you lay flat on the ground. That type. They do some nasty, repugnant shit, all in the name of, oh, you did your process, and now you're one of us in the fraternity or the sorority. So he's drinking toilet water, and he has like this necklace of rotten eggs that he has to wear as a part of his recruiting. Now, I'm not going to say which biker gang, but I heard one of these biker gangs, one of the initiations is that the whole gang pisses and shits on you, and you got to wear that piss and shit on you for a few days. You just got to sit in it. That's a part of the initiation. So think of the nastiest shit that you could ever think of. I'm sure it's a part of someone's initiation. You know what I'm saying? I heard there are certain gang initiations where, you're going choo choo. You know what I'm saying? And in some of them, it's for men and women. You gotta get choo choo. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get gang bang to get in. So think of the nastiest shit. But the point of me bringing this up and the point of me doing this review on this movie is that by the time this movie is done, he's in Wu. He's a Wu head. He's from Wisconsin. It start with a W. He becomes a Wu head by the end of the movie. He knows all the hand signals. Masons, they got the little handshake. Or are you in the Elks Lodge? They got their little handshake. You know what I'm saying? The Wu-Tang got one too, apparently, because he learns it by the end of the movie. The white guy, this guy right here, he becomes a Wu head by the end of the movie. So high he can kiss the sky. Mwah, you know what I'm saying? But what was we just talking about? Heaven and earth, gods and earths, expansion, understanding. We at a college. See the Wu? Now, what are some of the things that they do to get him to be initiated into the Wu Tang? What's some of the things he got to do? He got to smoke weed. They get him smoking some of that sweet chiba, right? What else he got to do? Get some pussy. Oh, him and the Asian dude. Oh, where the Asian dude at? The little Asian kid. He's still a teenager. He's like a prodigy. Where he at? Bufu. Buy us, fuck you. Him. Where he at? Because Red and Meth go get these two prostitutes and then bring them back to the dorm, and then the fat white guy and the Asian kid teenager, they have sex. So that's what you call a rite of passage, right? Because there's another movie. What's it called? A Spike Lee joint. What's it called? School Days. And Half Pint, which is played by Spike Lee. The guy that is played by Giancarlo Esposito. What was his name? Fuck is his name? Hold on, let me look that up. School Days. No, start with like a. Hold on. Julian, there you go. So in order for Half Pint to get into the gamma, what was it? Gamma. What was the name of it? Gamma Phi Gamma, whatever it was called. His fraternity. He has to sleep with a woman in order to get into the fraternity. He has to sleep with Jane. Some of y'all know the movie School Days because it was one of the first black movies to show like black Greek life on campus. You know what I'm saying? They did musicals in there and everything, jigaboos and wannabes. You know what I mean? That was all about, a historically black college, you know what I'm saying? University. So you got to know the handshake. You got to get, you know what I'm saying? Get your meat wet because you can't be a virgin, right? What else you got to do? You got to smoke. You got to get that herb. They even go as far, and I'm surprised they put it in this movie. They even went as far as to go into a graveyard, get a dead body, and bring it back to the dorm. So what I was seeing with that was Wu-Tang Clan is a fraternity. It's a frat. It's a fraternity. It was stylized or at least structured in this movie to be in the form of a frat. Because again, the fat white kid, he's trying to be a part of this white fraternity, and then they get him into this one. So in the Wu-Tang fraternity is marijuana smoke. You know what I'm saying? No doubt. Tikal, meth Tikal. So if you don't know what Tikal is, hold on, we're gonna bring up Tikal. That's Method Man's first album, Tikal album. It was the first solo Wu album, Meth Tikal. So Tikal has a couple meanings. One of the meanings of Tikal is another. It's a slang for marijuana. So yeah, you know what I'm saying, meth. So this album don't get as much love as Only Built for Cuban Links and Liquid Swords, which is Raekwon Chef's and Jizz's albums respectively. This album should be getting as much love as those two albums because they say that it's either out of Liquid Swords or Only Built for Cuban Links. Those two albums often battle for the best Wu-Tang solo album ever made. You know what I'm saying? So you got your Tikal, you know what I'm saying? So you got to know the science of Tikal. So what is Method Man doing in the whole movie? What is he doing? He's dealing with the science of that marijuana. He's basically a alchemical botanist in the movie. He knows how to grow marijuana. You know what I'm saying? He know how to deal with that plant. He has different strains for different pains, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Different strains for different pains. So at the beginning of the movie, he has different people come to his I guess his apartment to buy different types of marijuana. Like if you're suffering from an impotence, like you're just not getting it up. You know what I'm saying? Did something isn't connecting mentally with genitalia, you know what I'm saying? Genitally, you know what I mean? Ain't connecting. Maybe there's a marijuana strain for that. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you need to help yourself retain more information as you're studying those highly expensive textbooks for your college course. Oh, I got a string for that. You know what I'm saying? Help you boost your memory. But which is funny because most of the time when you smoke marijuana, they say it has an effect on your memory. It shortens your memory or something like that. But yeah, he's a scientist in the herbs, in the plant realm. And if you are spiritual like me, you know that the plant realm is one of the most spiritual realms you can deal with. Like how people speak to plants and they emote and they feed their feelings into trees and shrubs, and the shrubs yields marvelous fruits. You know what I'm saying? This guy is dealing with the science of that in this movie. And the reason he even goes to the university is so that he can develop his truth serum weed, or his truth serum strain, where if you smoke it, or I guess you ingest it or whatever, it's like a truth serum. So think about all the government agencies that would kill to have that. Think about that. Because what I say earlier, universities are a hotbed for these agencies to recruit from. So they got the Asian kid, you know what I'm saying? They caught him in the movie, saying masturbating to some porn or whatever. But that's him becoming a man. You know what I'm saying? Would you trying to say you ain't never watched a porno before and said learned some stuff you didn't learn before? I mean, they try to give porn a bad name, but it's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You saw some stuff you ain't never seen before. Got it. Hey, we talking about college. College is all about your mind expanding, your philosophical sense expanding. Like, what is the world? You know what I'm saying? What is the cosmos? Is God real? What is the nature of God? Who created the concept? You know what I'm saying? This is stuff you're supposed to learn at a university. That's why it's called that. How the fuck are you at a university and not learning about the universe? I mean, you're wasting your time and your tuition. You know what I'm saying? And these motherfuckers at the schools, they some predatory lender ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all watching now is in some college debt. Debt bondage. Same thing they do to countries over in Africa. They'll try to be like, "Hey, we have all this money, and don't worry about the interest fee. Here, just take this money." And then when it's time to get that money back from them, they don't got it. So it's like, okay, you don't have to pay us back the money, but you still got to kind of pay us. So why don't we just take your mineral cores? Why don't we take your resources? Why don't we take your forests? Hey, we'll just hold on to it until you're able to pay us back, but you're never able to pay them back. And then they start getting into, okay, we done took all your resources and your waters and your forests. Could you cough up some human bodies? That can be some way that you can pay the debt off. You African government, you can pay it off. Give us some human bodies. And that's how your slavery starts. But anyway, you know, so again, you're bringing this supreme mathematics to the college campus, and you don't have to do it through the Wu Tang. I'm pretty sure that these folks, and other organizations frequent these university campuses looking for new recruits. They didn't, because their minds are open. They want to explore things. They want to be different. They probably came from some backwoods, suburb or something like that, or you know what I'm saying. All they knew was the world around them for like 18 years. And now you're being shipped off to college that could be miles away. It could be in the same town sometimes, if it's a college town, but it could be miles away. It could even be in another country. You know what I'm saying? Another state, another country. So, you're away from home, you're away from your comfort zone, and these people like this come through and recruit you. They bring you right on in. You deal with these Black Greeks, and you definitely gonna be dealing with some Masons and Eastern Stars. You know what I'm saying? It's not a secret. I'm not revealing anything I shouldn't be. Everybody knows that. Hell, you could even say those black frats are kind of grooming grounds. You know what I'm saying? Alliteration right there. Grooming grounds to put you in masonry or Eastern Star if you're a woman. You know what I mean? Because all this comes out of the Masonic Lodge. I already told you that before. This whole shit, all alchemy. So yeah, by the end of this film, these two motherfuckers got the whole campus on this woo shit. And it reminded me when my cousin put me on to the deeper aspects, the more depthical chambers. We're going to use the word chambers because chambers, goes back to the 36 chambers of headbanger, bitch, while I deal with. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to deal with chambers. He brought me into these chambers because, again, I was just a casual person that just liked Cream and Triumph and, you know what I'm saying? Protect your neck, the singles, right? But there's a whole chamber up underneath that. See, Jizza of the Wu-Tang Clan, he's said to be the head. If they all form like Voltron, Jizza happens to be the head. So let's bring up Jizza because he's the oldest member of the Wu-Tang Clan, and he's the only Wu-Tang Clan member I ever seen in real life. You know what I'm saying? Because he came out here to do a show, and I didn't know he was just right there in the motherfucking lobby. I walked right in and looked right at him and was starstruck. So he's the only Wu member I've ever seen up close, like, been to a concert to see him act in real life or whatever. But he is the one that, you'll see interviews where he's talking about how the tongue is symbolic of the sword. He don't say sword, he be sword. You know what I mean? You can say sword if you want to, but the tongue is symbolic of the sword. You know what I'm saying? They even make a biblical reference with that. You know what I'm saying? So your sword, your tongue is your sword. So Wu Tang Clan is a style of rhyming where you use your tongue and your mouth in general or your voice as a sword style. So when you rhyming, you swinging your sword, or it doesn't even have to just be a sword. It can be any weapon. You know what I'm saying? Darts. They sometimes when they say they verse, they throwing darts, like it's slang for, putting your verse on wax. Is you throwing darts or whatever. But generally, it's dealing with a sword. So this is why you have the Liquid Swords album. You know what I'm saying? So Liquid Swords is basically people using their tongue and their voice in a sharp way. So when you hear something hot on the mic, nowadays it may not be that way because everybody want to, this mumble rap and what I'm saying, this new school type of hip hop. But back in the day, back in my day, even before my day, if you wasn't sharp on the mic, they would fuck you up. You wouldn't be allowed to be on a mic. You wouldn't be allowed to rap. Nowadays, everybody has, Pro Tools and excuse me, and which this is the name of one of his albums. Just he has an album called Pro Tools. You know what I'm saying? Fruity Loops, you know what I'm saying? That's a popular beat maker, you know what I'm saying? That you can do on your laptop or your computer. Everybody got that now. So everybody can be a rapper, a SoundCloud rapper, right? And then in the cinema, hey, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can do that. But back in their day, like in the 90s and beyond, you had to be sharp with your tongue game, like with your words, your rhymes. They had to be razor fucking sharp. So you have a clan of MCs that go by they go by that philosophy, keep your sword sharp. That's why every time you see Wu-Tang rapping with other rappers, they come with their A game. They know they're not about to be on this track with the Wu-Tang Clan with some subpar lyrics. You know what I mean? Because again, the tongue is symbolic of the sword. You know what I mean? Chopping off heads. So the whole thing about protect your neck is that you better protect your neck from these sharp sword style rhymes that we spitting at your frame, at your dome. We chopping off heads. You know what I mean? That's how serious they was. So these group of Wu-Tang members, they was traveling a lot back in like 92, 93. You know what I'm saying? They was all up and down the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? Howard University, Virginia Tech, like all these schools, universities. See, takes us right back to this. So they really making a movie about what they was already doing. Going to these colleges, performing these shows back in the early 90s. And then in 2001, they came and said, well, look, let's make a movie about what we was already doing. Because that's an audience that would really understand or want to really pick apart your lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And really want to know the depthical things that you're trying to say with your rhymes and your lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Not just some surface shit where it's like, okay, we're gonna party, but you still have those college students where it's like they're sitting here studying old books in the library, old texts that come up with these reports and shit and dissertations and theses. So they're gonna go much deeper into the song just than dealing with the beat. And then you have these brothers who come through and we're like, we're gonna rap about some shit where it's gonna expand your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding. Yeah, it's sharp, but you gotta know why it's sharp. You gotta know what I'm really talking about. Anybody can rhyme. You know what I'm saying? With Raekwon, I'm quoting Raekwon. Anybody can rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can rhyme. But it's the type of rhymes that you're doing, it lets people know what type of person you is. You know what I'm saying? And my cousin kind of bringing me into, not just dealing with the Method Mans and the Ghost Faces, but now we dealing with the Inspector Decks, the U Gods, the Master Killers. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like it kind of inspired me to be more of a poet because it's like I wanted my poetry to be sharp like that. I could have easily been a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And then you have women rolling their eyes and sucking their teeth like another one. You know what I'm saying? But when we flip it and say, "Oh, you trying to have a boutique or you trying to be a model," you know what I'm saying? They get an attitude, but it's all right. It's all good. We all have our faults and the things that we like to gravitate towards more than other things. It's all good in the hood. You know what I mean? And then you have your haters. You know what I'm saying? He played the best hater of all time, yo. This dude right here. He a good actor, excellent actor. He was in the movie Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy and that shit. You know what I'm saying? Top tier hater. You know what I mean? You ever met one of those top tier haters? Top tier. But it was a scene where they put weed in his brownies. It made it seem like his brownies came from like some, I guess, teacher or some woman from his past. And he ate the brownies and started doing all these dances and shit. It's funny as hell. But why the focus on lyrics? Why the focus on this sword style of rhyming? Because you have to go back to my video where I was talking about liquid swords. I already did a video on this stuff and how the way you chant something, the pitch of which you chant something, the rhythm, the melody, you can evoke some stuff doing that. I'm pretty sure you've seen movies, even like what's the movie? Eyes Wide Shut, the Stanley Kubrick movie, his last movie before he died. They was doing some chanting in there. What do you think the chanting is for? You're using your voice to move this and move that and move this over here and move this over there. Evoke this, summon it just by you doing a cadence, you know what I'm saying? An enchantment, a melody through your voice. Because I can give you the words to the spell, but if you don't know the right cadence and the right cadence and the right way to pronounce it and the right rhythm to have, you will never be able to evoke that spirit. Because it's not just the words, it's the way they're being spoken or sung or chanted. So again, to retread over some of that stuff I put in that video, if you go to one of these college concerts or it's just a concert in general, you're going to feel the spirit in that motherfucking arena or that auditorium or that amphitheater for that matter. Because the one on stage, the people on stage is doing it's some spirit shit. Making music is spiritual. You become an instrument for these spirits that come through with these melodies. In fact, music is one of the 7 liberal arts and sciences that you deal with in masonry, alchemy, and related, what I'm saying, esoteric practices. Music. Hold on, is it numbers through time? That's what music is, numbers and time. So let's go back to this. So numbers in time. That's a rhythm. So as you move and do what you do, and if you're supposed to be an embodiment of pure knowledge, guess how much powerful you just became. So now it adds more insight if you're willing to look that far into it. It adds more insight into the understanding of if you can get the music to be a certain way, you can sway the masses and the people to which how you want them to be or how you want them to do or what you want them to do. So now they can sit here and put out industry plants and all these different, you know, fake thugs and you know what I'm saying, want to be sluts and all this stuff and make music based off of that. So now you get influenced to want to do that stuff. So your pants is sagging and you ain't even know that, you know, that's something that they got from the prison system. But they made it cool through the music. That's what you call influence, sway, power. So again, by the end of this How High movie, they got the whole school in the woo, training new woo recruits. You know what I'm saying? New recruits. I'm fucking up MC troops. I break loose and trample shit while I stomp a mud hole in that ass because I'm straight out the swamp. That's just now they try to do this shit right here, but we're not going to mention it. We're just going to keep it to stuff like this. We're going to keep it there. Because even this album right here, hold on, let me pull it back up. This album is actually you see him doing the TED talk, right? So Jizzle be out here, he's a professor in some of these Ivy League schools. He makes some of his money by being a professor, like coming to speak to students about his philosophies and his take on science and all that stuff. And this album here, Liquid Swords, is actually one of the most studied albums in some of these colleges. Came out in 95. I remember this album fondly because my dad had, or he was definitely dealt with some of the songs in this album too. And then, like I said, years later, when my cousin brought me back into this woo music, like the deeper, more depthical levels of it, you know, this became, yeah, this is probably the best album. It's really out of this album and Only Built for Cuban Links. It's out of them too. Because this is a perfect fucking album. It's flawless. The rhymes, you know what I'm saying? I throw raps that attack like the Japs in Pearl Harbor. Mm, you know what I'm saying? So you're taking all this supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet, this alchemy, modern day alchemy, and you throwing it right in these campuses. And again, like I said, they're recruiting people into the Wu Tang Clan in this movie. It's really a celebration of how Wu Tang's music kind of took over the world in a way. They're really showing you that in the movie. And we talking about people that don't look like nobody from the Wu Tang. We talking about whites, Indians, Chinese, Latinos. You know what I'm saying? All coming under the banner of the Wu. Yeah, it is naughty fun. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely naughty fun. It's high fun too. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't get that like if you're not. Again, maybe I'm just somebody that doesn't like to just deal with the surface of things. Like I like to go a little bit into stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like into stuff. Maybe I'm just a too much of a depthical contemplator, but I'm a detective too. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a detective in this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Got to be a detective when you out here dealing with stuff like this. You know what I mean? Hell, I think they even had like they're talking about the president of the United States was even a Wu-Tang Clan recruit. You know what I'm saying? A Wu Gambino now. You know what I mean? But this is like I said, this is the stuff that you find in their lyrics. So again, I would really love to delve into this in its own video, like just dealing with the numbers as qualities rather than quantities. You know what I'm saying? Semiotic values. It's even the alphabet. You know what I mean? Even the alphabet. Allah, born. I can't see. It's too pixelated for me to see that. Hold on. Is it on here? No, you know what I mean. You can look this stuff up on your own, but just dealing with just or here we go. Allah be see being actual, see with your eyes or see with your, first eye, whatever, divine equality, Father God, all and go and on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? This is modern, this is a version of alchemical knowledge. So you combine that with razor sharp lyrics where your tongue is symbolic of the sword, you know what I'm saying? The katana, the Excalibur, you know what I mean? Sir Excalibur. Matter of fact, there's a video that I had on my Instagram about Inspect the Deck's verse. That verse that he has on the song, what's it called? For Heaven's Sake on the Wu-Tang Clan album, Wu-Tang Forever. Because Inspector Deck's verse on Triumph, it got like 5 mics in one of these. What was the source? One of the magazines. But I really think this verse is what blew it out the water, though, for me. This song right here, you know what I'm saying? For heaven's sake. I can't play it on here because it's the copyright thing, but because Deck is he's such a underrated rapper, you know what I'm saying? Or MC. You ain't gonna say rapper, MC. So underrated. But yeah, man, that's really what I just wanted to come through and for anybody that's a Wu Tang Clan head, you know what I'm saying, Wu head. This is for y'all, you know what I mean? I might try to do another one of these. I might do a part two, but it might not be, surrounding this out or excuse me, this movie. But I also just wanted to touch on how such groups can go to these universities and take over. You know what I'm saying? Go there and recruit, bring people into that W. Because it's like a martial style of rhyming. It's like we're using words as weapons and not just weapons, household. And we're talking about swords, staffs, bombs, and stuff like that. Weapons that you would use on the battlefield, like if you was really in war. Like imagine your mouth as a machine gun and you just shooting out these automatic rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Assault rhymes. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's what I want to talk about. Just some lighthearted stuff. We'll get into some more magical stuff. But again, if you have that mouthpiece like that, that will help you in your spirituality, in your work. So consider that. This is why again you gotta learn cadences and melodies and rhythms and the things that you say. And even if you're trying to use like a alternate language other than English when you do stuff, that's important to have that there. But again, man, this is Achad. I'm just coming here to review this funny, goofy, funny movie. You know what I'm saying with Meth and Red. You know, Pothead movie. It's up there with Half Baked. I think I saw Half Baked on here. It's another movie I would love for you to watch. Classic. You know what I'm saying? So if you into marijuana, Wu Tang, sword style of rhyming, depthical knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Supreme mathematics, then you'll love this stuff. So again, Alakad, make sure I put the banners up. There's my website, www.holographer.com. Check me out. My Patreon, check me out. You know what I'm saying? Patrons, love them for what they provide and what they help me with. And I'll check y'all soon. Wu Tang, Wu Tang, Wu Tang Clan on your brain.